Y'all, before we even get into it, this ain't just a podcast. This us talking to the block, to the moms, to the homies lost, to the ones fighting demons in silence, to the kings and queens that forgot their crown. We four brothers coming straight from mud, hitting the web not for clout but for purse bills here. We the night brothers, speaking truth to the mic, shining through the struggle, bringing dark to the light. Block to your soul, let the message ignite. Podcast for the people, every word take flight. Gritty like the grind, hell first we strive. Social heat in the streets, trying to keep hope alive. 4 mics, 1 mission, make the people revive. It's the night time, tune in, feel the vibe. We 4 deep like corners on the block, mics hot in the lab, cooking truth non-stop, no gimmicks. This ain't clickbait chatter, this heartbeat, struggling soul, blacker than batter. Got fam trying to heal, broke bills on the table. Talk health, mental wealth, if we able, we enable. From the hood to the web, we built this escape. Tired of seeing kings trapped in a lowercase fake. Click clack on the keys, we ain't just pie, we preaching. Street slang, health hacks, real talk preaching. See the system rigged, trying to cage our minds, but we cracking the code like it's Columbine. I'm the brother with the blueprint, knowledge in my stash. Turn trauma to armor, pain into cash. 1 mic, 4 voices, no filters, no mask. We ain't just streaming, we building that path. We the night brothers, speaking truth to the mic, shining through the struggle, bringing dark to the light. Block to your soul, let the message ignite. Podcast for the people, every word take flight. Gritty like the grind, health first we strive. Social heat in the streets, trying to keep hope alive. 4 mics, 1 mission, make the people revive. It's the nighttime, tune in, feel the vibe.
Oh yeah, 4 mics, 1 mission. Nighttime, nighttime.
I seen young blood.
Tonight, the Night Brothers Show takes a look at the evolution of rap music. Today, it's a billion-dollar industry, but believe it or not, it didn't start with gold chains, Lamborghinis, or TikTok dances. Nah, it started in the Bronx with DJ Kool Herc looping breakbeats so long that even the streetlights got tired of watching. Back in the late 1970s, early rap wasn't about fame, it was about survival, celebration, and creating something out of absolutely nothing. Just a mic, 2 turntables, and the power to make a whole block party move like they skipped their curfew. As rap entered the 80s and 90s, we hit what many call the golden age. This was when artists like Rakim, Public Enemy, Queen Latifah, and KRS-One came through and said, let's make this intelligent. Suddenly lyrics had a purpose, political truth, street wisdom, and punchlines sharp enough to shave with. And while the big names dominated the airwaves, the underground had its own superheroes. Masta Ace, Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane, Ultramagnetic MCs. These weren't rappers. These were lyrical scientists. These were the folks the famous rappers were secretly taking notes from. Then came the 1990s and early 2000s, the commercial boom, the era when rap said, let's get this money. Tupac gave us passion, Biggie gave us luxury storytelling, Jay-Z gave us the blueprint, Missy Elliott gave us pure innovation, and Snoop brought the cool factor down to about negative 20 degrees. Music videos became full-on motion pictures. Rappers went from hoodies on the corner to million-dollar boardrooms, and hip-hop officially became the soundtrack of the world. But the culture never forgot its roots. Beneath the mainstream shine, underground kings like Feroce Monk, Black Thought, AZ, and the masked enigma MF Doom kept the craft sharp and the bars sharper. Today we're in the digital and trap era, the land of streams, memes, and overnight dreams. Want to be a rapper? All you need is Wi-Fi, a ring light, and the courage to rap into your phone like somebody out there cares. Drake made rap emotional, Kendrick made it spiritual, and J. Cole made it introspective enough to make you rethink your life choices. Nicki, Cardi B, Doja, and Megan Thee Stallion flipped the industry by proving the ladies can dominate the charts and the culture. And the underground still thrives. Freddie Gibbs, Rhapsody, Mick Jenkins, Griselda, No Name, Denzel Curry, and Coda the Friend. Artists who remind us that lyricism never dies. It just goes independent. So, what's the difference between old school and new school? Old school was about message and mastery. New school is about innovation and audience reach. Old school battled for respect. New school battles the algorithm. But through every era, one thing stayed the same. Rap is the voice of the people, the rhythm of truth, the art of turning struggle, celebration, and identity into poetry over a beat. From the block to the boardroom, from vinyl to viral, rap didn't just evolve, it took over. And the next chapter, some kid somewhere is picking up a mic right now, ready to add their verse to the story.
Peace and love, gentlemen.
What's
good?
going on?
What's up, brothers?
Peace and love, Margaret, Nick, Mimi, Lee. Appreciate y'all coming into the place to be once again.
Always the number one center.
No question.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. What's going on?
Everything's love, man. I just want to take a moment to welcome Major Warren over here. You see him at the top of the screen, right around Kenny. He's going to come in and he's been on everybody. Good evening. Definitely connected with. He said he's a hell of a grower. First of all, an actual licensed K&F grower, which is a natural farmer. He also is a serious MC. He's been an MC for years, so he's gonna help us with our hip hop segment. Because he's definitely not just a hip hop enthusiast, he's a hip hop historian. Also, he's going to come back to us because it's about life here, baby. So we're about growing food also, so you can eat better food. So he's going to come back and help us on some segments about growing through the winter and also into the spring. And there's another segment he's going to help us with as far as us walking past herbs and everything in our own neighborhoods that we need right now. But this is Major Warren. We definitely want to welcome him to the show and appreciate his assistance. Indeed.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the welcome.
What? Yes. In the building. Peace and love, y'all.
Peace and love.
I just want to lay in the shade, get in those shade, you know what I mean? And pontificate on life. We vibing under the city lights. Wherever the wind go take us. If it's good, we make it contagious. Said we vibing, laying on black sand beaches, thinking of what life teaches. So glad and fall from the deep end. Said we vibing under the city lights. Wherever the wind go take us. If it's good, we make it contagious.
Yes, sir. We vibing tonight, as always. Once again, we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. And tonight, we're going to, if possible, we're going to cover a couple of things. Vanessa Turner, good evening to you, Nessa! How you doing, baby? But yeah, we're going to cover a couple of things tonight if we can, if time allows, I'll put it that way. But one thing we're definitely going to dip into tonight, along with our special guest, Mr. Major Warren. And once again, Major, we're so glad to have you on board with us tonight. We're going to talk about a topic that is one that is based around our culture, basically. We're going to take a historical look into the evolution of rap music from the 1970s to today's rap music. And we're going to take a look at it from its origins to where we are now and everything in between. There'll be some interesting conversation. And as always, this is the show where your opinion matters. So please don't hesitate to put your comments or questions along in the show as we go move forward. And secondly, if we have time, this is another topic that was sent in by one of our viewers, Miss Margaret Nick, once again. And she wanted to talk about the benefits of the herb bladderwrack. And if time allows, we're going to dive into that as well, because that's another interesting topic in all for itself. So, Lonnie, we're going to kick it back to you so we can get this thing popping.
Our story starts in the South Bronx, New York City, USA. It's the early 1970s, and a young DJ is about to change the course of music forever. And it all started with 2 turntables and a microphone. Picture the scene, we're in the Bronx. The DJ's playing funk and soul songs, and tonight he has a new trick up his sleeve. He's pioneering a musical technique, and it's never been done before this. You know how most songs go: verse, chorus, then there's a little instrumental break. Well, that's the part that the DJ is gonna take, and he'll play just that on the first turntable, then switch to the second and play it once more, then play it again, and right there the sound of hip-hop is born. A continuous rhythm is made when the same part is repeatedly played, and the record spins round like a hoop. It's called playing a break beat on a loop. DJ Kool Herc was the creator, living in the Bronx and born in Jamaica. That's where he learned about a thing called toasting, and he used it at the parties he was hosting. It's where someone speaks on the mic on top of the music to get the crowd hyped. To the beat they would stay in time, and to make it memorable they make it rhyme. This was the birth of the MC. It's how rappers we know it came to be. Its popularity would grow and grow. Before we continue, you need to know about DJ Kool Herc, DJ Hollywood, Coke Loud Rock, Grandmaster Flash. This new sound took the city by storm. It was the rise of the rap art form. It wasn't only at parties anymore. Now rappers went to the studio to record. The first rap songs ever were released. It was the late 1970s. The beats were catchy, the rhymes were simple. Sugar Hill Gang released their first single. It was a song called Rapper's Delight. It shot into the charts, rap reached new heights. Then a song called The Breaks by Curtis Blow went top 5. So you need to know about Fab Five Freddy, Cool Mo D, Salt and Pepper on DMC. Now rapper proved it could be commercial. Its appeal was clearly universal, but rap was changing and beginning to mature. The sound got harder, the beats more raw. The rhymes became more complex and lyrical, more meaningful, more real, more political. Out to upset the status quo, it was the golden age. So you need to know about Nas, Rakim, LL Cool J, Wu-Tang, Public Enemy, Big Daddy Kane. Now rap was born in New York, that meant the East Coast had most of the success. But in the 90s new stars were born, especially in California over on the West. And the style was fresh, it was a new vibe, but there was tension growing between the two sides. A rivalry between the two coasts. Sadly 2 goats became 2 ghosts. Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac, rest in peace. And you should know Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Warren G, Cypress Hill, Ice Cube, Ice-T. And then a new era began. Rap took over the world. Sweden to Japan, New Zealand to Sudan. Almost every chart was dominated by rap's new megastars. They became multi-millionaires. Heavy rotation on the radio, they're always on the air. They push the boundaries of style and flow and lyrical skill. So you need to know about Lauryn Hill, Eminem, Kanye West, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Drake, Outkast. And rappers always change with the times. So nowadays rappers blow up online. More music is available now, and rap's popular as ever, there's no way it's fading out. American rap used to run the game, but now rappers in the UK are household names. It's the same thing all around the globe, a universal language. And you need to know about Stormzy, Dave, Nicki Minaj, J. Cole, Travis Scott, Kendrick Lamar. Now look how far we've come, it's been decades. It started at a party with one DJ, and from that idea to take a break and loop became the world's most popular genre of music. And through the years so many contributed, and there'll be thousands more in the future to keep the art form thriving and growing, so the party can keep on going. So the party can keep on going.
Shout out to Jack Flash. Shout out to his YouTube channel, Jack Flash, who put together. Got my B-boy on tonight, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jack Flash, YouTube channel for that content. All credit to do, all right to do to him. So look, we're gonna dive deep into hip hop, baby. Hip hop.
Yes, please.
Call your friends and all of that. Got a serious MC and a grower on that can talk about the culture and everything else. Major Warren joining us tonight. Special guest star appearance. Yeah, let me give him the horn.
Yeah,
All right, Q, we're gonna start your way to start the conversation, yes, brother. Sir. Y'all can take it from there. All right. You ready?
Yes, sir. Let's do this.
No. All right, Cypher begins. Go on, brother.
Well, this is a question that it's really speculation, like the word says, because this may not have been totally accurate, and I'm gonna ask some of our special guests and others to chime in on this. But it's said that rap began in New York, and I'm sure there's some things that go to other countries and other areas, other countries as well, where there's some segments of rap were going on before this. But in New York, back in the early 70s, with some people like DJ Kool Herc and others, they kind of experimented with this keeping a party going type situation, where there'd be a DJ and a mic, and they'd be rapping just to keep the party going in the New York streets, in the block parties, things of that nature. And that's some of the origins of rap music. And Major, since you're here, I'm gonna take advantage of you right now, man, and tell us how you feel about the origins of rap music. And give me some more oral history about the origins of rap music, if you would.
Oh, well, I agree with what's documented by and large. I'm going to go ahead and credit South Bronx. I'm going to go ahead and credit Kool Herc. There were elements of hip hop early in our music in the 50s and the 60s where, they were doing some scatting and other things. But I think when they credit the origin of rap and hip hop, it's not necessarily the origin of rap, it's the origin of hip hop itself. What you spoke of, keeping the party going, the DJs, the break beats, the break dancing, and the elements of turntablism. I think that's where, more pointedly we talk about hip hop, not necessarily rap, because you're correct.
Yeah.
Rap has had its origins, and we've seen elements of it, before the 70s.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. All right, good. I appreciate that, man. No question about it. As we continue on, Lenny,
definitely say one person that has not been said, and I'd be remiss if I don't bring his name up, and that's Africa Bambaataa. In reference to, hip hop in its earliest stages, pulling people from out the street, from gangs ready to fight, and they dance instead of the fighting, instead of killing each other. They battle on the mic, they battle on the turntables. So, I just got to throw his name in there in reference to origins of hip hop, the culture of hip hop. Rap is a whole nother thing. That's, rhythm and poetry. We've been poetic for forever. Also, the last poets. You can't go without saying the last poets in reference to, at that time. But go ahead, Q.
Yeah, natural. And Africa Bambaataa, he was referenced in the movie. If you remember the movie, and I guess all you guys, this is open to all you guys who remember the movie Beat Street, where it tried to tie some of those elements. It was a commercial movie, but it tried to tie some of those elements in and tied some of those artists in. You're correct on that. And that ties right into our next question, that golden age of rap. And why was it so golden? And Kenny, I'm gonna ask you to jump in here as well. You and Kenny, this is a roundtable discussion. Kenny, you can jump in here. Tell us why you think it was so golden. And Art, I want you and Major to chime in on that as well.
I think what made it golden, rap was really developing into what we know it as now. You know what I mean? It was the golden age. Rap was really popping. People were really starting to pay attention to it. They were selling out venues. They were selling a lot of records. So that's what I think made it the golden age. What do you think about it, big bro? Art?
I mean, bottom line, I think that it's self-explanatory. I think it went through the process of like any business or even any business model. It already had proof that it's going to work. It had proof of concept all through the 80s. It really proved that concept.
Right, and that's what made it golden. Yeah.
Well, no, what made it golden is when corporate bought into it and said, yeah, we can make money off of this and run with it. And that's exactly what happened. And it became golden, but who it became golden for, we got to be precise. They call it the golden era because it became golden for corporations at that time when you were crossing over, because that was the time of deals. So, yeah, it was golden, all right.
I think it's the fact that the messaging changed too at that time. And Major, I want you to address that. How the message kind of changed, how it became a little more political, and From some of the lighthearted stuff, we started to get real messages. Could you address that, if you would, for me, Major?
Oh, absolutely. Well, we started with just rocking parties, right?
Yes, exactly.
And that's all it was about, right? It was about dancing. It was about vibes. Like Natural mentioned, Bambaataa with the Soul Sonic Force. Like all that was about rocking, don't stop it. But then we started hearing voices like Melly Mel with the message. We had KRS One. We had Queen Latifah with Black Empowerment. We had the Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul. It was all about
Public
knowledge of
Enemy.
self. You know, unity, peace, unity, love. That whole movement was, and I think at that time the message of hip hop was really about originality, right? It was about self discovery and self expression, to where we had all these heroes coming to the forefront with diverse backgrounds, and it was about being fresh. Nobody wanted to be like anyone else. And to me, if we go tie it back to the golden era, that's what I would consider it, the golden era, because of the diversity and the originality that was so forefront.
Good point.
Absolutely.
Good point, brother.
But unfortunately, no good deed goes unpunished. Like Nancy said, the golden era became, oh well, this is a cash cow. Now we're starting to see that we can start to push these other agendas, and as opposed to uniting the community, now it becomes a tool for destruction, and that is why a lot of people are disenchanted with the art form.
And as we move on, there were a lot of underground artists, lesser known artists in those early years that actually helped to shape the craft and to take it in different directions. And some of the people that everyday people may not know about because their names never were out there. They never sold lots of records, but everybody within the industry, they knew who they were. People like Master Ace and Cool G-Rap and so many others. And so, Art, I want you to address some of those, because I know there's just a long list.
Big L.
Yes, sir.
All of them.
Yeah.
So
Cool G.
Yeah.
Cool G got a record coming out now. Matter of fact, that's why, going to right now, the present, and to be that significant in the past, literally Cool G had penned stuff in the late 80s that if you played right now, you would have thought somebody wrote that yesterday. But it's a lot of artists that also, Kool Moe Dee, he was definitely very prevalent back then, but you don't hear him now. You don't hear any of his music now. So if you came up, you might not know that Kool G Rap was one of the guys that really battled MC that was, quote unquote, the best MC in New York at the time, right in Brooklyn. Historic battle. And Kool G, everybody thought he was going to lose, but he ended up winning. And that really changed hip hop from the hip, the hop, the hibbit to the, just rhyming and MCing. And MCing was really rocking the party. And so he took that from that to being subject matter, for the subject matter that you're rhyming about, being poignant, being a story, being meaningful, or whatever else. He was one of those MCs credited for that, even MCing a party rhyme back then, and that was like 80s, So Kool G Rap is definitely one of the guys that you can look back at and say that, Nas looked at this guy. Like some of the greats look back at Kool G Rap and still look to him as Rakim. The word patterns and how the complex structure of the rhyme. People, right now they sometimes on some Cat in the Hat stuff. But back then it was about, can I make something and everybody be like, yo, that's that. That's that. And that was realistically, you writing all night to impress somebody, to impress the block when you get into a cypher the next day or rock a party on Friday. It meant that much to you, and people put that much in. They put everything in. But there's a lot of artists. To go through that name, Um, Major, you want to run through a few other people? Especially back then.
Well, back then, yeah, we mentioned KRS-One. We mentioned Big Daddy Kane. Um, to EPMD, Redman.
Right.
To DOS Effects, the whole Hit Squad. Queen Latifah, I mentioned. Naughty by Nature. Treach was ill.
Yeah, Trench wrote a whole lot
Now
of
we
people's
coming
stuff.
into the '90s. Ice Cube, NWA, that whole West Coast. We be remiss not to talk about that. We talk about. I remember being in middle school in 1989, and me and On talk about this pretty regular. Um, I've been curating my own music. I've been my own DJ for the longest time, so I never relied on the radio for somebody to tell me what to listen to. I always had my inner voice and what appealed to me, and I would be at the record shops. I would be inside of the Sam Goody back in the day, or even the mom and pops looking at tapes. And I remember back when I was in middle school, and NWA came out, Easy E, MC Hammer. All this was coming out right alongside of the Rakims of the world, the Big Daddy Kanes, the KRS Ones, all that stuff that was moving in 88, 89. And it was crazy to see their impact on the scene, how egregious and vivid their lyricism was when it came to the violence. When it came to the matter of fact gangster rap, like it wasn't commonplace to hear misogyny on that level, and it broke through because it was so in your face. Now I like I'm into conscious rap. I like modern lyricism for sure, but I do like some tough guy rap every once in a while too.
Right.
And and that was unabridged, unadulterated, just just in words. You know what I mean? Like,
But let me ask you this real quick while we on that though. While we
Hardcore.
on that, because a lot of times to me, and they always say, well, gangster rap came from was a California thing. But what would you say Cool G rap was?
G Rap was the father of gangster rap.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, and then complex. I mean, the thing is for somebody to
Well,
say
he was the
something you hear
father of
all the time.
modern lyricism. Let's say that.
That's it.
We, you know,
And
we let's
I mean,
the three fathers.
right.
I agree with you 100%. Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane, and
Sean Price.
Rakim. They changed the game. It wasn't that Cat in the Hat, mad, bad, rad, sad anymore. You had
No.
to put together multi-syllabic punchlines, and you had to have anything other than just a monochromatic flow. You had to diversify and make people
Thing.
think.
What he
Yeah,
say? What he
and
say? Rewind that. That's you need that rewind moment.
yeah. If I wasn't pausing the tape and be like, yo, and I'm nudging my man, like, did you hear what he said? Like
Right.
that, I didn't want to hear it.
That's it.
I didn't want to hear it. If
Major, let
you
me let me follow up. That kind of like was a Pentium shift in the art form. Do you think that really kind of made it more cognitive and more socially adept? I guess you know what I mean.
100%. Well, social commentary was always the thing. Think about it. The same time, in that same timeline, in the early '90s, we had poor righteous teachers.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right along
You
with
had
them, we had Tribe
you
Called
one
Quest. We had the Jungle Brothers. We had all that black love, unity, self-discovery. And then right in the '93, we had Wu-Tang. That's still
but see,
knowledge itself. That's the gods and the earths. Like
yeah.
we always had that elevation. We had party stuff. We had dance stuff. We had original um um
Original
self-love,
self. Right.
self-help kind of
Knowledge
lyrics.
yourself.
And right alongside it, like I said, we had the N words being thrown around.
Had the
Like
love
it was
songs.
diversity, if nothing else, in the game at
Yeah,
that time.
without
Yeah,
question, so
because
much
there was
so.
still plenty
But
of
the thing is,
storytelling going on at the time as well. You're right.
when you start looking at that, what caused hip hop to blow up commercially. That was really what happened with hip hop and made it blow up commercially, because we had already put down the foundation, and the foundation was principles of hip hop in like the '80s that came out. Also, I would be remiss if I ain't speak of what's their names. Start with the W. What's the brother with the big hat? Oh my God. Oh man.
Public Enemy?
Houdini. Houdini.
Oh,
Like back
Houdini.
in the
Yeah.
day, you know what I
Oh
mean?
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
one
just
Yep.
saying,
love.
I don't want to skip that because so many stories
5
and so
minutes of
much
funk. 5 minutes
consciousness.
of
Yeah,
funk. Big
no,
Mouth.
so
Big
they did
Mouth.
the party. They did,
Yeah.
friends. What's a
Uh-huh.
friend? You know what I
Friends.
mean? You can look back at that.
Yeah,
But I mean, bottom line, it blew up because all of that has been pushed out there, and you had you had people running around the world pushing hip hop. Like I said, Africa Bambaataa was doing some real work for hip hop. And then they had Tribe, they had the whole native tongue was going around the world pushing hip hop, breakdancing, graffiti, um, the music, and
DJ.
DJing, which is really lost in our community right now. You don't see the whole situation with the DJ rocking, and it wouldn't have been no MC without the DJ. Going back to Q's
True.
Yeah,
Q's put together, piece that he put together at the beginning. It was the DJ that
yeah,
brought everybody out.
Cool Hurt.
If it wasn't no DJ, it wasn't no MC because you had to
yo,
have a DJ
it
rocking.
was Eric B and Rakim. You know,
Yeah.
it
Exactly,
was it was
Yeah.
Grandmaster
exactly,
Jay. It wasn't the
Yeah.
MC.
no
The
Yes.
doubt.
DJ was first,
Even people like
Right.
and then it
Spinderella.
was Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
And the Fresh Prince,
Spinderella.
yes.
Spinderella.
Well,
Yeah.
Cinderella
Springerella,
and Salt
she
Pepper.
came into it.
Salt
Yeah,
Pepper.
Salt
Yes,
Pepper.
indeed,
Female DJ. Yeah,
no
so
doubt.
Absolutely.
Oh, I mean Jazzy Joyce. You had Jazzy Joyce back in the day, rocking. I mean, like so. Yeah, you had a bunch of female MCs and DJs. What's the sister's name that was rocking with D'Angelo? Um, Good God, come
Angie
on, man.
Stone.
no,
Angie Stone.
Angie
Angie
Stone.
Stone. She was
yeah.
bad. I mean, she was. Well, her whole career was
Right, she
phenomenal.
used
I mean,
to rhyme,
she was
right?
an MC. Yeah, she was an
Right.
MC back
Wow.
then.
No
Matter of
doubt.
fact,
No doubt.
real talk.
Indeed.
She was on Beat Street. How about that? She was
Yep,
singing.
so it
I mean,
was.
she was rhyming on
You
Beat
know the
Street,
Beat
and
Street.
then come in and change over and change R&B and usher in the neo soul movement. I mean, salute Angie Stone. You know what I mean?
So
Let me just give her
Ard,
a little
no
love.
doubt, Ard. So Ard,
Yep.
that
But let
Blue
me
that
grown
that
up.
segues to the next question.
bet. That's where I'm
Like
going.
the old school and the new school, and we're very nostalgic because of we saw it. We saw
Yeah.
the origination of rap, where some people, they're a little younger and they only heard about those things, and they really do. It's like people not seeing MJ play ball, and they see LeBron or somebody like that, or they saw Kobe, but they ain't really see MJ, or they ain't really see Bill Russell or somebody from that era, so they can't break
I
that
got
down
you.
for us and talk about those diversities, brother.
I mean, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I got to throw them out there. You say old school. I'm just saying, throwing it back in the day. What happened to me, what the difference was one, the fact that you not only wanted to be an MC at the time, or DJ, or graffiti artist, or dancer at that time, you wanted to be the best. And you was willing to go outside and rock and prove it. You know what I'm saying? And if you wasn't the best, you definitely wanted to come out with something that was like a wow moment, even if it's in a cipher. And I would say one of the biggest differences is the fact that how much people hone their skills in the old school in comparison to now. And really, what I would say is at the same time, I'm seeing more places where you go, and it might be a cipher over there, but the difference between
What? Tell
the
people what
old
a
school
cipher is
and
before
the
you
new
get too
school is,
far.
oh, my apologies, my apologies. You know what I'm saying? Thought we was talking to some heads. Yo, so a cipher is when you're in a circle, you might have somebody, beatboxing. You might have somebody with a radio that's blasting or whatever else, But most of the time, it was like beatboxing, and you got MCs. If they're not beatboxing, they might not have no beatboxer, but somebody could beat on the tear or the table or whatever else, and you rhyme it. And you go around and you spit a rhyme, you spit a rhyme, you spit a rhyme, and after a while, the cream starts to rise to the top. And maybe if you're not the nicest, you go home and you like, yo, I ain't never going out in 3 rounds no more. And I mean, like, they go around 3 times, and if you ain't really got nothing to say the next time, or if you said something and it was some cut, whether somebody tell you or not. And sometimes people would tell you. Other times people would battle. But the bottom line is, all the time it seemed like people was working on their craft. All the time. Major, how many times did you go to a hip hop spot in the 80s or 90s and walking up? Like I said, sometimes now it might be a cipher, but no, you walk up, it's a cipher, and it's probably more than one.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's probably more a regional thing. Um, the further north you venture, that's the thing. That's a circle of Wiseman, the cipher. Where they build and destroy, and they add on. They talk about lessons of the day, whether it be from uh, your 5% knowledge, and or just the events of the day, just trying to still sharp and still. And it was about being sharp. But like to answer your question, you couldn't go too many places where guys were huddled up in a cipher and it wasn't some rhymes being spit. That was a thing.
That was a real thing for sure. The other thing, man, is now it's just the approach. There's absolutely a way out MCing if you catch on and you make it. Before, at some point in time, let's be real, in the 70s, in the 80s, early 80s, people was talking about it, but they knew that they wasn't gonna make, 100 million rhyming, or $2-3 million rhyming. But what they was gonna do is they was gonna make a tape that when they walk down Atlantic Ave or the Boulevard or whatever else, they're gonna hear that joint bang. So the expectation, I'm thinking, going in is a big difference as far as hip hop, old school and new school. Now, new school, people going in and feeling like, yeah, I could really make a life changing living now, and it's a little different approach. Major, what you think?
Oh, 100%. What I was gonna add was any art form, and man, if you love it, if you at some point you're gonna partake in it.
That's
You
it.
know, um, you pick up some turntables. You might pick up a mic. Hell, I mean, worst case scenario, you gonna pick up a notepad. You're gonna try to draw some letters. Hip hop is one of those. It's the path to self discovery. It's ultimately a way, an outlet for you to express yourself. 100%. And that's what I love about the art form. And you look around, how many people that have aspired to be an MC, DJ, graffiti artist, breakdancer, maybe not commercially, but you participated in the art form. It's
Right.
a I know 1,000 people that can rap, but it's just like the league. Look at all these people that play basketball and rec basketball, high
Right.
school, college. But how many of them make it to the league? But that don't discourage people from participating in the sport. It's just out of the sheer love of it.
That's real.
That's a great
That's real.
point, man. That's a really
Yeah, that's a good
that's
point.
that's kind of profound. I like the way you broke that down, Major. All
Yeah.
right,
And that's
I
I think
know.
that's really what made the hip hop art, the hip hop art, the fact of love going in and knowing that it might not pay you a life, it might pay you through your life, but you love it so much that you still writing, you still producing music, you still coming up with stuff. I apologize. I didn't mean to step on you,
No,
Al.
no, it's all cool.
You were
But you know what? It's the way Major said that was, it just made me think the correlation of some of these old heads like that did stuff for the love of it, and not even so much for the fanfare, but just for street cred and everything else that went
Yeah.
along with it, because it was a life form, it was a lifestyle, it was a way of
Yep.
life. You know what I mean? As opposed to like some of the cats that's coming out now that's making like stupid money, but in a way might be less skilled than some of these older artists.
A lot less skilled.
And like some of the heads like Barkley and all of them, or someone said, man, if I was born in that era, in today's era, with the skills I had, man, I would just been ultra paid. But I guess they paved the way for others, and so I just wanted you to really talk about some of the underground indie artists that's in today's world that emulate some of that that originality that started the art form that's not getting the recognition or the fanfare that they should receive today on the airwaves. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Hey, go ahead and lead that off, man, because I know you got them joints off the break.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like I said, boy, you talking about somebody that's plugged in. I usually holler at him like, yo, what's out this week? You know what I mean? Or if I find something, I'll shoot it to him. But generally, he's usually shooting more stuff than me because he's like super pulsed in. I mean, like, he might be a left ventricle.
I just been curating my algorithm for a while, man. I mean, for me, I'm really into Griselda right now. Fashion Rebels, they are out of Buffalo. It's a bunch of MCs coming out of there. Benny the Butcher, West Side Gun, Conway the Machine. And each one of them got their own labels and they have their sub artists under there. There's another guy out of Rochester, New York. His name is 38 Special. Super ill. If you like punchlines and witty, slick wordplay, he's doing it. And one of the things that I champion them for is when everybody was starting to, do the trap music, the trap beats and drill rap and all the other trendy stuff, they kept it gutter New York street music. Like they didn't waver. So their sound is they're the reason why that sound is back. And I got onto them like I would say 17. I love Sky Zoo. I like
Sky Zoo.
King Los is super nice.
King Los is nice. He's from here. He's from
on the West Coast, I like what's his name? Evidence. He's half of what's the name? The Step Brothers. He's the Alchemist is rhyme buddy. But he's a white dude. That he's super nice.
Yeah, Major, you going deep, boy. You breaking out the catalog.
Henry.
I just thought I'd list a few for those that's out there that maybe looking for something new to kind of tap into. But one thing I like to mention is me and Arden, we've been talking about this I've known this man for about 25 years at this point, and we always go back and forth about proximity and availability of soul music. Oh, my man, let's not. I'd be remiss if I didn't speak about Henny Savant.
Savant. I was about to say, my man.
Super nice. If you're looking for something that you can relate to, that's not N-words, that's not denigrating women, that's about uplifting and healing. It ain't preachy, but it's poignant music.
Yeah.
Check my man out. He can make the dude, what's his name? What's his name? You know what I'm talking about? The dude that played the music first and then he got all these cult hits that people like. Masego, that's him, yeah. He's like that. He's got. I just watched a video of him make a track in like 2 minutes and then rhyme up, like live. Everything. It was crazy. He played everything on the keyboard. He had guitar, drum machine.
What is his
he
name?
Put the beat together like Henny Savant.
Okay.
Yes.
It's OHENE Savant.
Yep. Yes.
Jump in, Q. Q, you look like you got a question.
You brought up something a little earlier in this segment just now. You talked about how it was this one particular white kid that white rapper that you into. If you would, I want you to expound upon that and dive a little deeper into that, and how that different cultures they came into the rap game, and some of them had major success with it, the Eminems of the world, and then you had other people like Vanilla Ice and people like that, But how they kind of came into this rap game, and they took it, and they made money out of it. They commercialized it. How do you feel about that? I mean, just tell me how you feel about that as a whole.
As a whole, I mean, I welcome it. Now, we have industry plants, right? We have people that have been placed in industry and pushed and so forth and so on. None of that registers on my Richter scale. Because like I said, I've been curating my own algorithm for so long to where I'm only gonna tune into what resonates with me. Now, that said, it's quite a few people of not our hue that that they love the art form, and it comes out in their music. So if if you paying homage to the art form and the love come out and it's got some purity, it's got some depth to it, I'll give you a word.
Yeah.
I'll give you a chance.
Let's keep it a buck though. I mean, for real, it's not only a couple of white boys that came out and got some money off of it. We got reggaeton. We got a whole new industry of music that's getting Grammys right now. That's the spawn of hip hop.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And he can go around the world with that, from dance hall to all of that. I mean, all of that's from hip hop, or part of hip hop, and that's a worldwide situation. So that's what we're talking about, a $1 trillion industry. Period.
Along with technology,
100%.
which is a good segue. Kenny,
Yes.
won't you segue that into what your question is about technology and social media?
Absolutely, brother. But before I start, Major, I heard you mention a lot of upstate New York, Buffalo, Rochester, all that. Have you ever heard of Buddha Beats?
Mm-hmm.
He did a little
Repeat
work
that
with
person?
James and Buddha Beats.
Buddha Beats.
Buddha Beats? No, I never heard of Buddha Beats.
I will send you after the show. I will send you some of his. He's right up there in Buffalo. I met him in Florida. He's done some things for Trinidad James, and what's the big tall rapper? Oh my God, I can't think of his name. He's done some things for them.
A big tall rapper?
6ix9ine?
Nah, he famous. Not Trinidad James and somebody else.
From back in the day or now? Like,
like
time?
a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay, no, I'm thinking.
Big tall dude. I'll think of it before I'm done.
2 Chainz? 2 Chainz?
Not
2 Chainz?
Nah.
Snoop?
I can see this dude's
Snoop like
face.
6'5".
I can see his face. I can't think of it. No, I would know Snoop and all that. I can't think of his.
I
I
was
can
just
see
thinking
his
of tall
face.
rapper.
He tall. He about 6'4".
About
6'4"?
He about 6'4". I'm gonna think of it before we get done with this. But I'm gonna include you in this question too about how technology and social media changed hip hop, because you touched on it in a few of your answers. But for me, it revolutionized. It gave artists global reach. Like one clip on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, SoundCloud. The next week you could be in somebody's show. You could be opening for somebody. You could be in a festival.
100%.
How much social media and technology today has changed the rap game. I mean, it's no longer, you don't have to worry about impressing the label. You go to social media and impress people. It is a direct fan connection. And that's what I think technology and social media has done, especially for these new artists. Give me your take on it.
Well, 2 things, right? I 100% agree that social media as a tool, it removed the middleman, right? Gatekeeping can't be done per se anymore. There's no labels that can hide you anymore, right? Because you can go, like you said, straight to the people, and then the people, and then that's the way it works. Now that the labels come find you, you get your views up. Those are metrics that they can, figure out. Okay, well, We ain't got to build nobody no more. If they got their own organic vibe, if they already moving, we could just come and sign them type deal. But at the same time, social media and just this age with AI and all the other things that's going on, these entities I think have uh, perhaps watered down the art form, and as well as kind of handicap some of these artists to where I think the purity of the sport of the art form has been watered down some. Because of how it's because it's about viral, right? Everything that everybody's clicking on don't make it good,
That's true.
You said it mouthful there.
Yes. Say that again for the people in the back. That is true.
That's because everybody clicking on it don't make it good.
Right. Everything that shine ain't gold. And we're going to get into. We press for time. We press for time, but we're going to rock this out. We're going to talk about the impact rap has had on cultures worldwide. I'm going to start it off with saying in a lot of ways, fashion, movie, advertising. You still hear today the Jeep commercial, LL Cool J. Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years. That's a Jeep commercial today. You got Geico, a tag team. I know that's more of a commercial like rap thing, but it's whoop, there it is. It's in a Geico commercial today. So it's had not only a positive impact, it's had a lasting impact because you still hear a lot of the old rappers, the old 90s rappers, what we're talking about tonight, are still in commercials today. Now, there is a stigma. Of course, with everything, there's a stigma with gangster rap, and it's causing violence, and it's causing this and causing that. For me personally, I disagree with that. Because there's other genres of music that have certain violent lyrics as well, and we don't hear anything about it. So, personally, I disagree with that.
Well,
give me your take on that, bro.
That's a push, dude. That's a specific push too for that to be heard all the time. Because I'm gonna tell you, if you want to lead into the impact of hip hop, and really, you start looking at the whole cultural renaissance of like the '80s and like the golden era when they really saw again that music, the message in the music was causing people to move. It was causing the people to wake up, causing the people to be more organized, more community ready, more healthy. Remember, I don't eat no hams and eggs because it's high in cholesterol. That was in the 80s. Yo, Fife, do you eat them? No, not at all. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, my boy, M1, M1 to this day, his family and they have a vegan company. They doing juices and a whole lot of other products. What's their name? M1 and my man on that joint.
Dead Prez.
What's the name of that? Huh?
Stickman. Dead Prez is the name of the group.
Dead Prez. That's what I was trying to say, the name of the group. But Dead Prez came out with a vegan joint. You know what I mean? Be
RPG.
Healthy. No doubt.
Real black gang.
For that change in the black community, especially for young people, is become vegetarians and become vegan and start eating better and living better had came on. So in the mid 90s, why you see that where you started seeing that big variety of hip hop, and now all you see on the air is gangsterism or hoism. If you're looking at what the women are saying, which is a lot of other women out here speaking. Hold on, Q, I got you. I'm coming to you. But let me finish this point. And the bottom line is that you started seeing that change because of the impact of hip hop worldwide. People started seeing those leaders as changing cultures, change as far as food, as far as fashion, and impact on community thinking. So now if I push killer, and I'm a freak you as far as the concept, and that's 99% of what you hear on air right now. That's making your children think a certain way. And when we start talking about what's being pushed where you hear it and the hip hop you hear and you judge is people that don't look like you, and it's only a few of them.
Exactly.
So those black radio stations, it ain't black people picking those songs to play. For real, I'm just saying it flat out, and it's been generations of that. As soon as they started seeing the music, that message in the music started pushing people a certain way. You had more people going to college at a certain point. Yeah, it's a definite backlash to that. So I just wanted to speak to that and where hip hop is.
And that's why I brought it up.
You
That's
know
why
what
I
I
brought
mean?
that
And
up.
what we see day to day, the average person, unless you like somebody like Major or somebody like me that's gonna look for something,
Hey, as
you're
we
gonna
run
see what they
on,
throw you. They throwing you bullshit right now. I'm
as
sorry.
we
On the air,
great points. And as we run on
Q.
time,
They got you.
uh, we got about good 5 minutes left. We will
Five.
be overtime. But jump on in, brother, and so we can get to the last question. And Q, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk. You just talked about the impact on culture, and this is another aspect that we haven't covered tonight. But I think there's something that needs to be pointed out: how rap really developed so many people in different areas as well. Look at people like LL Cool J and Ice Cube, and even the Fresh Prince. You want to name him? Snoop Dogg and others
No
who
doubt.
transitioned from the rap game to TV to movies to businesses to everything else. How they diversified themselves and made just economic
Millions.
impact
Yeah.
in their communities and beyond just from
Method
the
Man.
rap game. That's something
Yeah.
we haven't even talked about tonight.
And
Just
the
the
other
Well, they
impact.
transition.
and the
Yes.
other aspect is this, Q, and I'm not on the screen, but how
Get on.
it was a black art form until white kids really started eating it up. And then it
Yes.
became a culture, a phenomenon where they couldn't deny it because, their kids was listening to it. And then their kids grew up on it. So that's another whole aspect. Kenny,
That's
last
it.
question, man, and then we're going to
Oh
keep
yeah.
it moving.
Yeah, we're going into overtime. I flipped a coin. I won the toss, and I chose to receive. So here it is. So here it is. With so many errors, how do you distinguish who deserves your credit? Everybody. Everybody that has contributed, everybody that's contributing today. But let's not, y'all almost, I was expecting y'all to touch on it because y'all mentioned it, but nobody said it. Let's not forget the underground artists. I'm gonna throw some names out there. Major Arden, y'all have forgotten more about this than I'll ever know. Cool Keith,
Oh
Del
yeah.
the Funky
Ultramagnetic.
Homosexual,
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Lord
mean, it's a lot.
Finesse. They were storytellers, and that's
Oh
that's
yes,
that's where
sir.
I differentiate. I
Mm-hmm.
like today's rap. I like my Travis Scotts. I like my Wayne. I like some of Gutter songs. I have my new school rap in my genre. I drive a lot for work, so if I'm listening to Sirius XM, I go to the old school station. I can go to the new school station. I have my old school rap saved. I'm an old school rap guy because they were storytellers. They were talking about something. This is
Love
just
story.
my opinion.
Yeah.
Touch on it real quick, Major, before we get out of here. How you feel about that?
Um,
They were
I
storytellers.
mean, there's still some great storytellers around. It's just about who you tuned into.
That's it.
38 Special is a great storyteller.
Yeah.
Uh, all those people from about West Side Gun, Freddie Gibbs is an amazing storyteller. Evidence from the West Coast is a great storyteller. Nas put out 6 albums in the
Oh yeah.
last 2 years.
Yeah.
He's
Last two.
probably he's top tier storyteller.
Yeah. But I
Heck,
consider
Slick
him
Rick just
also.
dropped the album.
He's
Slick
also
Earl
Rick
one.
just
Martin,
dropped the album.
storyteller.
The Ruler,
Yeah.
the number one storyteller in the game ever, just dropped the album. So like, it's storytellers out there. It's just
Yeah.
about making sure that you can find them, and
Yeah.
you stick your you gotta get your antenna out there, man. It's out there if you want it. Like
Major.
Arden said, all the people that you grew up liking. Kwame dropped the album this year. Raekwon,
Oh man.
Ghostface, Slick
Only
Rick.
you.
Yo, before we even get
Man.
into it,
You did it without me saying it. Thanks, Major. I was ready to say run through a couple of them that's dropped some
Man.
stuff recently. Yeah, and you just ran
Kwame.
into
Word.
it. Thank you.
to the kings and queens that
Definitely.
forgot they
It's
Yeah,
just
so it's
so
a
many.
lot of
It's
stuff
so
out there.
many. And we missed a lot tonight because as we go on with each segment, there's a name that pops up. You know what I mean, Arden? There's a
Yeah,
name.
me too. And I,
You was thinking about, oh
Hey
damn.
man, like we said,
There were names
50
we didn't even
years,
bring
man.
up. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
50
50
years.
years.
50
There were
years.
so many names we
We
didn't bring up tonight. And we
man, we ain't bring up Public Enemy. We ain't talk about the Bomb Squad.
yeah, we
Woo!
Yeah,
yeah,
How
some
did we
people we
forget
didn't bring up.
yeah.
DE?
Yep.
We didn't even talk about Mob Deep. None of
Mobb
that.
Yep.
You know
Deep.
what I mean?
Yep. It's too much to cover. Too much
It
to cover.
is. Look,
We
we
need a
ain't got
whole
we,
other
we ain't
album.
got
Yeah.
for 60 minutes. It's been 50
Yeah.
years. How we gonna do that?
Major, we
No,
appreciate you,
thanks.
brother. It was good meeting you. I'm gonna send you I'm gonna send you that info. All right, I'm gonna get your
Hey.
info.
All right, that's what's up, brother. I'll be looking for it.
Real quick, jump on Bandcamp, y'all. If y'all want to get like, independent artists, stuff like that, go on Bandcamp. And I would say go on Bandcamp and get your brother Savant, Ohini Savant. Check it out right on bandcamp.com. You can get like a lot of independent music from artists, directly from the artists, and create that relationship. The pipeline is better than it's ever been. It's just about people finding the artist now instead of the artist being marketed by some sort of corporation.
Yeah.
So
Hey, look,
find your artist, find your crowd. They out there.
We want to shout out our guest again tonight, and give him closing words. I know you multitasking out there, Major, doing all kinds of
I am, brother.
movement.
I definitely am.
But
No,
why don't you tell, before we jump off tonight on the hip hop thing, tell people a little bit about what you got going on, because you are a major grower into various things, and how people can get in touch with you and some of the products and services that you are bringing life to the world.
This is an awesome opportunity. My student just me up that I want to announce that our offer was just accepted. We were looking to transition into a farm because where we at right now in the city, we can be found at East Capitol Urban Farm. Foodie Delights on Instagram. I'm Ganja Farmer DMV76 on Instagram as well. We talk about learning to partner with nature in order to cultivate your vegetables, your herbs, and your medicine using natural and sustainable practices. I'm more encouraged nowadays with conversation to even because I haven't recorded in a while. I've been writing. I think I'm gonna probably step back in there and put some stuff down and contribute to the art form, and not necessarily just be on the sideline critiquing.
Decent.
Love it,
met him
brother.
in the
Love it,
studio back in the day, so I met at
Yeah.
work, but then we ended up in the studio back in the day.
No
Many
doubt.
years,
We used to
so
record.
salute, man. Congratulations.
25 years ago, no doubt. All right, our brothers.
Thank you.
Good subject matter. We're gonna pick up Mark and Nick. We're gonna pick up Bladderwreck next week. Next week is gonna be a show. Then we probably go on vacation for 2 weeks because I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna be moving and grooving. So, and it'll be our pre-holiday show. So definitely join back in. Any of y'all want to give any more shots out before we get on out of here, fellas?
I just appreciate it. I appreciate Major joining us tonight, man. Very, very interesting conversation. Once again, man, if we left out anybody, it was not intentional. Just that we couldn't cover everybody like we wanted to tonight. But this is something we may dabble in again in the future. But thank you guys, man, so much. I appreciate it. And also, I always like to give a shout out to our audience, the most loyal audience on the internet.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, y'all. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Stay on
No doubt. Till next week.
the